Eileen Gu and Caitlin Clark draw attention together after Winter Olympics. Caitlin Clark and Eileen Gu made a splash after the two were spotted in Italy. Gu, whose astonishing net worth emerged at the Winter Olympics, recently finished up her stint in Milan Cortina, where she took home 2 silver and 1 gold medal, cementing herself as the most decorated freestyle women's skier in Olympic history. Meanwhile, Clark had been enjoying her off-season, taking her time to recover after an injury-plagued season with the Indiana fever. Now, the two have linked up in Italy, taking the sports world by surprise. It comes after a former NFL MVP called her as attractive and insufferable in a vile rant. As the two were in Milan for the city's Fashion Week, Gu posted a photo to her personal Instagram story. In it, both Clark and Gu are seen posing as the two take in the sights of the Prada show. In her Instagram story, the Chinese-American star simply put hi at Caitlin Clark 22 with an emoji of 2 women holding hands. The Fever star reposted the story to her own page, confirming that the two spent time in Milan. For Gu, being in Milan for Fashion Week is her other job, in her own words. She said as much during an interview as she builds her career outside the Olympics. It's Fashion Week in Milan, the 22-year-old Olympic star said, hat tip the Daily Mail. I have the other job, the other fashion thing. I'm really excited to just explore some other avenues, be creative, and explore my femininity through fashion, which is something I've always loved, and to kind of put that in juxtaposition with skiing and with sports. And I think they coexist so beautifully, and so I hope to represent that next week in Milan. As for the Fever star, Clark is staying ready despite her recent trips to Florida and Italy. During Indiana's exit interviews in October 2025, Clark outlined her off-season plans, following a season marked by injuries and frustration. Probably take a little bit of a break here just for maybe a week, she said at the time. I don't really want to lose kind of the stuff I've worked on and just trying to get my body back to full health. When you go through injuries, especially in my scenario, where it's been a few of the reoccurring kind of bouncing around, which isn't necessarily uncommon in my situation, just because of compensation. When you're dealing with things in that groin area, that just is kind of how it can go sometimes. I think it's important that you can become confident and in your body again. And that's for anybody that goes through injury. So that's probably going to be my main focus, is just feeling 100% again. And then obviously having that confidence in my body, too. When winter legends meet, Eileen Gu and Caitlin Clark captivate the world. The Winter Olympics always bring unforgettable moments, records broken, tears shed, and legends made. But in 2026, 2 extraordinary athletes from very different sporting worlds brought extra sparkle to the season, not only for what they achieved on snow or court, but for what they represented in culture, creativity, and cross-disciplinary influence. Just days after the Milano Cortina Winter Olympics, where Eileen Gu soared to glory on the freestyle skis and Caitlin Clark was dominating headlines off the ice in basketball arenas and global media, the two stars were seen together, not on a competition stage, but at Milan Fashion Week, where style, sport, and celebrity intersected in one unforgettable moment. Eileen Gu, more than a Winter Olympian. Eileen Gu's 2026 Olympic performance was nothing short of iconic. The Chinese-American freestyle skier solidified her place as one of the most decorated athletes in Winter Olympic history, winning gold in the halfpipe while also earning silver medals in slopestyle and big air. Her total of 6 Olympic medals placed her at the pinnacle of her sport. But beyond medals, her story resonated deeply with audiences worldwide. Born in San Francisco but representing China, Gu's identity and career choice became a global conversation about heritage, nationalism, and athletic ambition. She shared raw, emotional moments, especially her reaction to learning of her grandmother's death shortly after winning gold, reminding the world that athletes are human first. With millions tuning in to her races and interviews, she became more than an Olympic champion. she became a symbol of resilience and global connection. Gu's cultural impact. Eileen Gu never limited her influence to snowdust and podiums. Her passion for fashion and creativity was as dynamic as her skiing, a dual path that blurred the lines between sport and style. Within days of the Olympics ending, Gu was already walking high-profile runway shows during Milan Fashion Week, bridging two worlds and proving that athletic excellence and fashion sensibility can coexist powerfully. 2. Caitlin Clark, the court's new superstar. Unlike Gu's Olympic ski career, Caitlin Clark's fame came through basketball. Emerging as a cultural phenomenon in the United States, Clark's name became synonymous with the phrase the Caitlin Clark effect, a transformative force driving skyrocketing viewership, ticket sales, and global interest in women's basketball. In 2025 and 2026, Clark's influence extended far beyond the NCAA or WNBA. Her precision scoring, three-point range, and infectious personality made headline news across sports media. She became one of the most watched female athletes in America, attracting new audiences to women's sports in a way few women had before. As she prepared for her third WNBA season with the Indiana Fever, her star power kept rising. Although Clark did not compete as an Olympian in winter sports, her presence at events like Milan Fashion Week, alongside icons like Eileen Gu, reflected the broad cultural reach of elite athletes today. 3. A front-row encounter, Fashion Week and global spotlight. When Gu and Clark were photographed together at a Prada fashion show during Milan Fashion Week, the world took notice, not because they were simply two famous athletes, but because the moment represented a clash and blend of worlds. Winter Olympics triumph and cultural legacy, Gu. Breakout basketball fame and mainstream influence, Clark. Both women sat front row, effortlessly commanding attention with their distinctive fashion styles, Gu in chic tailored outfits and Clark in a casual, yet confident ensemble. Their appearance wasn't just a social media snapshot, it was a symbolic collision of sport and global culture. This moment ignited countless conversations on social platforms. Was this a friendship in the making? What does it mean when athletes shape fashion as much as they shape sport? How do figures like Gu and Clark redefine what it means to be a global sports icon in the 21st century? The image itself told a story, daring, dynamic, and deeply symbolic of how female athletes today control narratives both on and off the field. 4. Why their union matters. Seeing Eileen Gu and Caitlin Clark together may seem like a fleeting celebrity moment on the surface, but it symbolizes something far deeper in our cultural landscape. Their shared limelight highlights several key themes that define sports and society today. 1. Redefining athlete identity. Gone are the days when athletes were confined to their sports. Gu's seamless shift from Olympic podiums to fashion runways and Clark's omnipresence in media reflect a modern trend.